Commander Hannah Kim walked into the briefing room where 200 new recruits waited in perfect silence. Her boots echoed against the metal floor. Behind her, a massive screen displayed the dark edge of space where humanity fought for survival. 17 medals hung on her chest. Each one represented a battle she survived when others did not. She stopped at the podium and looked at the young faces before her. They were eager, excited. They believed they were about to become heroes. 15 years ago they came from beyond our solar system, Hannah began. Her voice was strong and clear. We call them the Void Dwellers. They are not human. They do not negotiate. They do not retreat. They only destroy. The screen behind her showed grainy footage of twisted ships. The vessels looked biological, like giant insects merged with metal. They moved in strange patterns through the darkness. Energy weapons flashed. Earth's defense forces fired back. We stopped them at the Kuiper Belt, Hannah continued. Millions of kilometers from Earth. Our soldiers built stations out there in the cold and dark. They fight every single day to keep these monsters away from our home. A recruit raised her hand. She looked barely 18 years old. Commander, how many of them are there? Hannah paused. It was a good question. One she had asked herself many times. We don't know, she admitted. They keep coming. But so do we. Humanity united for the first time in history. Every nation. Every person. We fight together or we die together. The recruits nodded. Some looked scared now. That was good. Fear kept soldiers alive. Tomorrow I leave for Outpost Theta 9, Hannah said. It is our most forward position. The closest station to enemy territory. Some of you will join me there after you complete your training. I will not lie to you. It is the most dangerous place in the solar system. But it is also the most important. She clicked a button. The screen changed to show Theta 9. It looked like a fortress floating in nothing. Weapons covered every surface. Lights blinked along its rings. It was beautiful in a cold, military way. Questions? Hannah asked. A young man in the back stood up. Commander, why do they attack us? What do they want? Hannah felt something twist in her stomach. She had wondered the same thing for years. The official answer never satisfied her. They are alien, she said slowly. We cannot understand their minds. All we know is that they want to break through our defenses and reach Earth. We cannot let that happen. The recruit sat down looking unsatisfied. Hannah did not blame him. 3 days later she boarded the transport ship called Vigilant. The journey to Theta 9 would take 6 days through the outer solar system. Lieutenant Doyen Park came with her. He was young but skilled. A good officer. Hannah spent most of the trip reading classified reports from Theta 9. Something felt wrong. Every single message from the station was filtered through Central Command back on Earth. Every combat video was edited. Every casualty report came through 3 layers of approval before she could see it. Why so much secrecy? She asked Doyen on the 4th day. They stood in the ship's small observation room, watching Saturn pass by in the distance. Security, Commander, Doyen replied. The enemy might intercept our communications. I have commanded frontline bases before, Hannah said quietly. I have never seen this level of control. Something is different about Theta 9. Doyen looked uncomfortable but said nothing. On the 6th day, Theta 9 appeared on their sensors. Hannah stood on the bridge and stared at the screen. The station hung in absolute darkness. Beyond it, she could see the debris field from years of fighting. Broken ships. Frozen bodies. The ghosts of countless battles. Further out, space itself seemed to shimmer and bend. That was where the enemy waited. They are hailing us, the pilot said. A face appeared on screen. Captain Jaiwan Choi looked exhausted. His eyes were empty. Commander Kim, he said softly. Welcome to hell. The Vigilant docked with Theta 9. The airlock opened. Hannah stepped through into the station. She did not know it yet, but her entire understanding of the war was about to shatter. The inside of Theta 9 smelled like recycled air and fear. Hannah walked through corridors that should have been bustling with activity. Instead, soldiers moved like ghosts. Their eyes were hollow. No one smiled. No one spoke unless necessary. Captain Jaiwan Choi led her to his office in silence. The walls were covered with star maps and tactical displays. But Hannah noticed something strange. Many of the screens were turned off. Darkness covered half the room. How many crew do you have? Hannah asked as she sat down. 342, Jaiwan replied. He poured himself coffee with shaking hands. We started with 502 years ago. Combat losses? Jaiwan laughed. It was a bitter, broken sound. Sure. Let's call them that. Before Hannah could ask what he meant, alarms screamed throughout the station. Red lights flashed. Jaiwan stood up quickly, his exhaustion vanishing. Enemy contact. You wanted to see the war, Commander? You're about to. They ran to the command center. Dozens of officers worked at their stations. The main screen showed sensor readings. 12 contacts approaching from beyond the perimeter. The Void Dwellers. All weapons online, Jaiwan ordered. Prepare to engage. Hannah watched the screen carefully. The enemy ships moved toward them, but something was wrong. Their formation was scattered. Disorganized. Captain, are they attacking? They always attack, Jaiwan said quietly. But they did not. As Hannah watched, the enemy vessels changed course. They were not advancing toward Theta 9. They were moving past it. Almost like they were running away from something. They're fleeing, Lieutenant Doyen said from beside her. Why would they flee? Fire anyway, Jaiwan ordered. The station's weapons opened up. Missiles and energy beams cut through space. 3 enemy ships exploded. The others scattered. One of them sent out a signal before it jumped away. Hannah stared at the data. Did you record that transmission? We record everything, Jaiwan said. He looked at her carefully. Do you want to hear it? Yes. Jaiwan hesitated. Then he nodded to a technician. The speakers crackled. Static filled the room. Then sounds emerged. They were not alien screeches. They were words. Broken and distorted, but words nonetheless. Please, do not, we are not, please. The recording cut off. The command center fell silent. That sounded human, Doyen whispered. Impossible, Hannah said. But her voice shook. Play it again. Jaiwan shook his head. Central Command does not allow us to keep unfiltered recordings. I will have to delete this in 1 hour. Regulations. Why? Hannah demanded. Why would they make us delete enemy communications? You should ask them, Jaiwan said. His eyes were dark. But they will not answer. I have tried. Over the next 3 days, Hannah watched 6 more encounters with the enemy. Each time the pattern was the same. The Void Dwellers did not attack aggressively. They moved defensively. They tried to communicate. And each time Theta 9 destroyed them. On the 4th day, Hannah went to Jaiwan's office. I want to see the unfiltered combat footage. Everything you have before Central Command processes it. That is against regulations, Commander. I am ordering you, Captain. Jaiwan studied her for a long moment. Then he stood and locked the door. He pulled up files on his personal terminal. What I am about to show you could get us both executed for treason. Do you understand? Hannah's heart pounded. Show me. The videos played. Raw footage from helmet cameras and ship sensors. Hannah watched battle after battle. And in each one she saw things that made her blood run cold. Enemy ships that looked too symmetrical. Too designed. Hull markings that resembled human language. And in one video, a damaged cockpit where she glimpsed a hand. A human hand reaching out before the ship exploded. What is this? She whispered. The truth, Jaiwan said. The thing they do not want us to know. Before he could explain further, alarms sounded again. But this time it was different. Captain, we have a damaged enemy vessel, a voice called over the intercom. It cannot jump away. Weapons are offline. Jaiwan looked at Hannah. Standard procedure is to destroy it immediately. No, Hannah said. Capture it. I want to see what is inside. Commander, that violates. I said capture it. 2 hours later, the enemy ship sat in Theta 9's cargo bay. Marines surrounded it with weapons ready. Engineers carefully cut through the hull. Hannah stood close, her heart racing. The cockpit opened. Fluid spilled out. And then a figure emerged. It wore a biomechanical suit that looked half alive. But when the helmet was removed, Hannah saw a face underneath. A human face. The man inside the biomechanical suit was young, perhaps 30 years old. His skin was pale from years without sunlight. Strange patterns covered his arms, like circuits grown into flesh. But his eyes were human. Terrified and human. Please do not kill me, he gasped in perfect English. Please. I have a daughter. Hannah felt the world tilt beneath her feet. Around her, Marines lowered their weapons in shock. No one had prepared them for this. The enemy was supposed to be alien. Monstrous. Not a man begging for his life. Take him to the medical bay, Hannah ordered. Her voice sounded distant to her own ears. Get him out of that suit. Carefully. Captain Jaiwan appeared at her side. His face was grim. Now you see, he whispered. Now you understand why we are all so tired. 2 hours later, Hannah sat across from the prisoner in a secure room. Medical staff had removed most of his biomechanical suit. Beneath it he looked almost normal. His name was Taemin Song. He was 41 years old. And he should not exist. Where are you from? Hannah asked. New Horizon Colony, Taemin replied. His hands shook as he drank water. Beyond the Kuiper Belt. We have been there for 15 years. That is impossible. There are no human colonies beyond the belt. There are 7, Taemin said quietly. Or there were. Your fleet has destroyed 4 of them. 12,000 people dead. Hannah felt sick. You are lying. We are fighting aliens. The Void Dwellers. Is that what they told you? Taemin laughed bitterly. We are the Void Dwellers, Commander. We are your people. Your children. Your future. Explain, Hannah demanded. Taemin took a deep breath. In 2332, Earth launched Project Exodus. 10 colony ships went beyond the solar system to establish new settlements. The government said it was for exploration. But really they wanted to get rid of dissidents. Freethinkers. People who questioned authority. I never heard of Project Exodus. Of course not. They erased it from history. Taemin leaned forward. We traveled for months into deep space. We found something incredible. Ancient technology. Left behind by a civilization millions of years old. It allowed us to survive in the void. To adapt. To evolve. That suit you wore, Hannah said. The biomechanical ships. That is the ancient technology? Yes. It merges with human biology. Makes us stronger. Lets us live in places where normal humans would die. We were not trying to create weapons, Commander. We were trying to build a new home. Then why did you attack us? Taemin's face hardened. We did not attack. We sent messages home. Hundreds of them. We told Earth about our discoveries. We invited them to join us. And they responded with warships. Hannah shook her head. No. That cannot be true. Why would Earth attack its own people? Because we are free, Taemin said simply. We do not answer to their governments. We do not pay their taxes. We do not follow their rules. Out there in the dark we built a society based on choice. On freedom. And that terrified them. This is insane. Is it? Taemin asked. Think, Commander. Why does Central Command filter every communication from the front lines? Why are you not allowed to keep raw combat footage? Why do they call us Void Dwellers instead of colonists? Hannah had no answer. Her mind raced through 15 years of propaganda. Of speeches. Of patriotic messages about defending humanity. Had it all been lies? I can prove it, Taemin said. My ship's computer has records. Messages we sent to Earth. Responses from your government. Battle footage from our perspective. Let me show you. Before Hannah could respond, Lieutenant Doyen burst into the room. His face was white with panic. Commander, we have a priority alert from Central Command. They detected our prisoner capture. They are ordering us to execute him immediately and destroy all evidence. What? Hannah stood up. Why? The message says he is a biological weapon. That keeping him alive risks contamination of the entire station. Taemin laughed darkly. See? They will not let the truth spread. They will kill everyone here who knows what I am. Doyen looked between them, confused. Commander, what is happening? Hannah made a decision that would change everything. Lock down this room. No one enters without my permission. Doyen, gather every senior officer you trust. We need to see the evidence. Hannah, Jaiwan's voice crackled over her communicator. We have a bigger problem. Long-range sensors show a fleet approaching. 20 warships. All from Earth. They will arrive in 6 hours. Are they reinforcements? No, Jaiwan said quietly. They are broadcasting on military emergency frequencies. The message says Theta 9 is compromised. They are coming to sterilize the station. They are coming to kill us all. Hannah stood in the command center watching the approaching fleet on the main screen. 20 warships. Enough firepower to vaporize Theta 9 10 times over. Her former comrades. Her own people. Coming to murder everyone aboard the station. How long until they arrive? She asked. 5 hours and 32 minutes, Jaiwan replied. He looked calm now. Almost relieved. I have been expecting this for months. They could not let us live forever. We know too much. How many of your crew know the truth? Maybe half. The others still believe the propaganda. They think we are heroes fighting monsters. Hannah turned to face the officers in the command center. 30 men and women stared back at her. Some looked confused. Others looked terrified. They had all heard the conversation with Tameen over the intercom. She had made sure of that. Central Command is coming to kill us, Hannah said clearly. Not because we are traitors, but because we learned the truth. The enemy we have been fighting for 15 years is human. They are colonists, our own people. And Earth's government has been committing genocide to keep that secret hidden. Silence filled the room. Then a young officer stood up. Her name was Minji Bay. That is treason, Commander. You are asking us to believe our entire government is evil. I am asking you to look at the facts, Hannah replied. Why would Central Command send a fleet to destroy this station? We are the frontline defense. We are valuable. Unless they need to eliminate witnesses. She is right, Jaiwan said. I have served here for 2 years. I have captured enemy pilots before. 3 of them. All human. Central Command ordered me to execute them and destroy the evidence. I obeyed because I was a coward. But I will not obey anymore. Another officer spoke up. What can we do? We cannot fight 20 warships. No, Hannah agreed. But we can run. And we can take the evidence with us. She ordered Tameen brought to the command center. The colonist still wore medical restraints but walked freely. When he saw the tactical display he understood immediately. They are coming to silence you, Tameen said. This is what they do. This is what they have always done. Can your people help us? Hannah asked. Tameen looked surprised. You want our help? An hour ago you were ready to kill me. An hour ago I did not know the truth. Now I do. Can you contact your colony? Yes. But they will not trust you. We have been hunted for 15 years. Tell them we have evidence. Tell them we want to expose what Earth has done. Tell them we need evacuation for 300 people. Tameen studied her face. Then he nodded slowly. I will try. The next 4 hours passed in chaos. Hannah ordered the station's crew to download every piece of unfiltered data they could find. Combat footage. Communication logs. Prisoner records. Everything that proved the enemy was human. Some officers refused to help. They called Hannah a traitor. She had them locked in their quarters. She did not have time for arguments. Lieutenant Doyen worked beside her the entire time. My sister always wanted to join the colony ships, he said quietly as they copied files. 10 years ago. The government told our family the program did not exist. They called her crazy. She killed herself because no one believed her dreams were real. I am sorry, Hannah said. Do not be sorry. Help me make them pay. 3 hours before the Earth fleet arrived, Tameen's people responded. 6 colony ships appeared on sensors. They were massive, beautiful, more advanced than anything Earth had built. They moved through space like living creatures. They agreed to evacuate everyone who wants to leave, Tameen announced. But we must hurry. Once Earth's fleet arrives they will fire on colony ships too. Hannah gave the order. All personnel, this is Commander Kim. We are evacuating Theta 9. This is not optional. Take only what you can carry. Move to the docking bays now. Most of the crew obeyed. But 37 officers refused. They barricaded themselves in the lower sections. They sent messages to the approaching fleet. They believed they were being rescued. Hannah could not save people who did not want to be saved. The colony ships docked. Hannah watched her crew board the strange vessels. The interiors were like nothing she had ever seen. Organic walls that glowed softly. Technology that responded to thought. Colonists with biomechanical enhancements greeted them without weapons. Without fear. We must go, Jaiwan urged. The fleet will be in weapons range in 20 minutes. Hannah was the last to leave Theta 9. She set the station's self-destruct sequence before boarding the final colony ship. She would not let Earth capture the facility. Would not let them erase more evidence. As the colony ships jumped away into deep space, Hannah watched Theta 9 explode. A brief flash of light. Then nothing. The Earth fleet arrived minutes later. They found only debris and silence. The colony called itself Haven. It floated in the darkness beyond the Kuiper Belt, a massive structure built from ancient alien technology and human ingenuity. Hannah stood at an observation window and stared at it in wonder. It looked like a crystal flower blooming in the void. Thousands of lights glowed within its transparent sections. She could see gardens, buildings, people walking through corridors that defied gravity. Beautiful, is it not? Tameen stood beside her. He had removed all his restraints days ago. Here he was not a prisoner. He was home. How many people live here? Hannah asked. 43,000. We have 6 other colonies like this. Smaller but growing. Before your government started hunting us we had 10. Hannah felt shame burn in her chest. How many did we kill? 12,416. Tamin's voice was soft but steady. We keep records. We remember every name. Every child. Every elder. We will not let them be forgotten. The colony ship docked with Haven. Hannah and the Theta 9 survivors were brought inside. The colonists greeted them without anger. Children ran past laughing. Old people sat in cafes drinking tea. It looked like a normal city. Except it floated in space where nothing should be able to live. A woman approached Hannah. She was elderly with kind eyes. Her name was Sora Lim. She led the colony's council. Commander Kim, Sora said. Tamin tells us you want to return to Earth. To expose the truth. That is very brave. Or very foolish. Maybe both, Hannah admitted. But someone must tell them. The people of Earth do not know what their government is doing. They think they are defending against aliens. They deserve to know the truth. And you think they will believe you? Sora asked. Earth's government controls all media. All communications. They will call you a traitor. They will say you were brainwashed by the enemy. Maybe. But I have evidence. Hours of footage. Testimony from hundreds of witnesses. Proof that you are human. That we have been committing genocide. Sora was quiet for a moment. 15 years ago, I sent my son to Earth with messages. Videos of our colony. Proof we were building something beautiful. They captured his ship. Tortured him for information. Then they executed him and broadcast his death as a terrorist being eliminated. I watched my child die on every news channel in the solar system while they called him a monster. Hannah had no words. Only horror. But, Sora continued, I still believe some humans on Earth have good hearts. Maybe you can reach them. Maybe things can change. We will help you. Over the next week, the colonists prepared everything Hannah would need. They gave her a stealth ship capable of reaching Earth undetected. They compiled evidence into a format that could be broadcast on every frequency simultaneously. Video, audio, documents, testimony from colonists and Theta 9 survivors. Thousands of hours of truth. Lieutenant Doyen volunteered to go with her. So did Captain Jaiwan. 12 others from Theta 9 joined them. They all knew they would probably die. But they all agreed the truth mattered more than survival. On the last day before departure, Hannah walked through Haven's central garden. Real trees grew here. Real grass. She sat on a bench and watched children play. A little girl ran past chasing a ball. She had circuits visible beneath her skin, glowing softly. Human and technology merged into something new. Something beautiful. Tamin found her there. Having second thoughts? No, Hannah said. I was just thinking. Earth sees you as monsters because you are different. Because you evolved. But you are more human than we are. You remember compassion. You remember mercy. We forgot both. We learned from necessity, Tamin replied. Out here we had to cooperate or die. No governments. No armies. Just people trying to survive together. It made us better. That is what Earth fears, Hannah realized. Not that you are dangerous. But that you are free. That you built something better than they have. If their citizens knew you existed, they would want to join you. The government would lose control. Perhaps, Tamin said. Will you stay? You could have a life here. A real life. No one would judge you for choosing safety. Hannah shook her head. I spent 15 years believing lies. I killed people who were innocent. I cannot undo that. But I can make sure others know the truth. Even if it costs me everything. The next morning, Hannah and her crew boarded the stealth ship. The entire colony came to see them off. Sora gave Hannah a data crystal. Everything we are is stored here. Our history. Our culture. Our proof of existence. Make them see us, Commander. Make them see we are human. The ship launched into darkness. The journey to Earth would take 3 weeks. Hannah spent the time reviewing the evidence over and over. Making sure nothing was missing. Making sure the broadcast would be perfect. On the final day, Earth appeared on their sensors. Blue and green and beautiful. Home. Approaching the broadcast position, Doyen announced. All systems ready. Hannah's hand hovered over the transmission button. Once she pressed it, every screen on Earth would show the truth. Every radio would broadcast testimony. Every device would receive evidence. There would be no way to stop it. No way to hide it. The government would hunt her. They would deny everything. They would call her a traitor and a liar. But maybe someone would believe. Maybe someone would question. Maybe someone would demand change. That was all she could hope for. Beginning broadcast, Hannah said. She pressed the button. Her face appeared on 1 billion screens across Earth. Her voice carried across every frequency. My name is Commander Hannah Kim. I have served in the United Earth Defense Force for 12 years. And I am here to tell you that everything you know about the war is a lie. The evidence began to play. Videos of colonists, human faces, human voices, families living in haven, children laughing, people building lives in the darkness of space. Then combat footage. Earth warships destroying peaceful settlements. Soldiers executing prisoners who begged for mercy in perfect English. Government documents ordering the suppression of truth. Hour after hour of evidence. Undeniable. Devastating. On Earth, people stopped working. They watched in shock. Some cried. Some became angry. Some refused to believe. But everyone saw. Earth's government scrambled to shut down the broadcast. But it was too late. Millions had already downloaded the files. They shared them. They spread them. The truth moved like wildfire. They found us, Jaiwan said suddenly. Earth military ships. Approaching fast. How long? Hannah asked. 10 minutes. Maybe less. The broadcast was not finished yet. It needed another hour to transmit everything. Full power to the broadcast, Hannah ordered. Keep transmitting until they destroy us. Her crew nodded. No one argued. They had all accepted this would be a one-way journey. The Earth ships opened fire. The stealth ship's shields held for 30 seconds. Then they failed. Alarms screamed. Hull breaches appeared throughout the vessel. But the broadcast continued. Hannah sat in the command chair and watched Earth on the main screen. She thought about the children in Haven. About Tameen and his daughter. About all the people who died in 15 years of lies. Commander, they are hailing us, Doyen said. They are ordering us to surrender. Ignore them, Hannah replied. Keep broadcasting. The second missile salvo struck. The ship began breaking apart. Emergency lights flickered. Oxygen vented into space. Broadcast is at 97%, Jaiwan announced. His voice was calm. Almost complete. Fire bloomed in the engine room. The ship shuddered violently. 99%. 100%. Transmission complete. Hannah smiled. They had done it. The truth was out there now. It could not be erased. Could not be hidden. Whatever happened next was up to Earth's people. It has been an honor serving with all of you, she said to her crew. The final missile hit. The ship exploded into fragments. But on Earth the truth lived on. In a billion devices. In a billion minds. The horrifying truth that humanity's greatest enemy had been its own children. That the war at the edge of space was never about defense. It was about control. And now everyone knew.